I'm so excited to be sharing this maternity money planner with you. The step one is really the start of where you should be when you're planning your maternity. Getting in control of your finances is so beneficial. It will help you so much. So let's go through how you can use this tool to get the most out of your maternity leave, to reduce your stress, to allow you to spend as much time as you want with your baby, and to allow you to be in control whilst you're away from work. So starting with the first page, when you open up the template, is we've got the disclaimers, we've got housekeeping here, but what you'll be most interested in is how to get started. And what you need to do is you need to go up to here and say make a copy, because you will not be able to edit this template until you do that. So you click make a copy, and then you just rename it as my budget tool, or whatever you want to call it. And you make a copy. And then here we go. This is your copy. So you can see that the view only has gone. So you can now edit this version. So we're going to go onto the first tab, and this is where you get started. This is where you want to be putting in all the information. So rent and mortgage. I'm going to say that mine is £1,000 and it's a direct debit. Boom, in there. So straight away, I then also need to put in what date it comes out of my bank account, and I'll go into why later. And then what you need to do is you need to go through each of these, and why they are there is because it splits out the minute detail to help you see the overall cost. So you will go through each of these, working out and putting in what your costs are for each month. And these are your planned costs. If they're a regular payment, put the direct debit yes and the regular payment date there, and I'll show you why in a second, as I said. Each section has a total, so you can see how much you're spending on each area. And what that total then does is it comes across to here, and then you can then see really quickly up here what your category total is for each month. And that's really useful because you can then see where most of your money's going and perhaps start addressing that where you need to be cutting back on spending. What you also then get is visual of a breakdown of where your spending's going, and then you can also see your regular payment date. So on the first, biggest payment goes out, and that was my mortgage or rent, and then on the second there's a smaller payment coming out. And that really again helps you to manage your money whilst you're on maternity leave and understand when you may need more money in your bank account because of the payments that are coming out, and that really help inform your decisions. Now, what is then really useful with this is you can then start playing around with step 2, where you get your clarity. And this is really good because what you can do is you can put in your planned maternity pay. So I've said that I've actually got enhanced maternity pay, and my employer offers me either 18 weeks of full pay and then statutory, or 9 weeks of full pay and then 18 weeks of half pay. So I've mapped out option 1 here. So I've put in my imaginary full pay, and I've put in my imaginary partner's income. And then I've also started to think about savings, how I might want to use them. Or actually, do I need to move them up there because I need to reduce my maternity leave duration to make sure my money balances? And that's a decision I can make, which is going to be more important to me, spending that time, having that time, but not having the income. Are we going to be able to survive? Or is it that actually I should go back to work and start bringing the money back in? That's a decision I can start to make based on this mapping out. I put in my child benefit, and then I've got my total here. I've also got other forms of income because some people do have investments or another stream of income that might be helping top up their maternity pay whilst they're on maternity leave. Vinted as a great example. And then what you've got here, and this is pulled through from the previous tab where we've done the setup, is our expenses that have come in, and we can see here that we've got our total for the month, and this is then broken down so you can see that, and you don't need to populate that again. That's done from the previous tab. And what this allows us to do is, one, we get a visual of our maternity pay, and this is just our maternity pay and how it changes. And then also what our combined income looks like. So with our partner's income, with child benefit, with savings, we can then see how our money maps over the year. And that really helps because you can look at the total. You've got your 7,800 as my budget expenses, and then work out, actually I'm already spending too much on what my income is, so I need to address my spending and reduce that down. And as I got along here, what do I need to do? What is it that I can do? Is it that I need to make more savings? Is it that I need to think of ways of making more income? Or is it actually that these last 3 months I go back to work and I use some of my savings to top this back up, as well as cutting spending? I can then make those decisions based on this information. What's even better is, as I said at the beginning, my employer offers enhanced pay, but there's two options of how I take that. And I've then been able to map out here what that looks like. So I can then, really simple, copy my imaginary partner's income, boom, and then let's put the savings in there as well. Uh, there, and let's not forget child benefit, because that is so useful, and that can go in there, because I was a bit slow on actually applying for it. So again, we've got our combined income there, we've got our expense summary there, and we can now see the difference of the two scenarios really easily. And you can even zoom out a little bit more so you can see that information back to back. So what you can then see is your combined income and how it's a bit more steady state, and you can start making decisions on, actually, is it better that you have lower income consistently, or have that higher income and then do other things? So for my first child, I was in a really fortunate position that I actually had made some savings before I went on maternity leave. So I was able to put these savings here as a form of income to allow myself to have 12 months off. For my second, I wasn't in such an unfortunate situation because I hadn't managed to recover those savings in between the two. But that meant that I could make some more decisions based on, here, was it spending we were going to cut? What was it I could do? By having this information, I was then able to see what it is that I wanted to do. I really hope this helps. It really helped me to get in control of my maternity leave. So have a play around with it, use it. And if you want to go a step further, there is the full maternity money planner, which includes a month-by-month budget and a further breakdown. You should upgrade to the maternity masterclass series, which has included, but I'll also be doing a maternity money planning lesson that you'll be able to purchase that will include this template plus the additional bit, plus further coaching on how best to manage your money. So start here, start getting to grips with it, and then if you want to go that step further and learn and understand where your money is going, so you have the ability to make decisions that support you, then upgrade, and I'll be there again to coach you through it.